In San Francisco, the Scarlet Spider flees a zombie horde. He's almost out of web fluid, so is forced to flee on foot. As he is cornered, his contact is able to teleport him out of there just before he is grabbed. Waking up, Kaine reassures himself he is back home on Earth, his Earth. He is then called into the other room by an unseen figure, who desperately needs medication. Kaine contacts his partner, worried, and gets no response. Meanwhile, Dr. Octopus has Spider-Man in his clutches. Peter assumes the villain is just another clone, but Otto remembers everything. After the events of Spider-Verse, he created a neural backup of himself, and has used it to return in full. Carefully watching Spider-Man for some time, Otto is ready for this fight. However, he is stopped by the arrival of the Jackal, who orders Otto to seize at once. The man apologizes to Spider-Man, saying that his villains are just security and, well, Peter did break in. As Spider-Man calms down a bit, the Jackal insists that he means the hero no harm, and offers to give him a tour. Sending the villains away, he, Gwen, and 2 Miles Warren clones take them to see the lizard, restored to life along with Connor's wife and son. They then show him a collection of all the various villains and people who died over the years, restored to life. This is it. Nobody has to die anymore. The blood of Spider-Man's entire life, all washed off of his hands in one fell swoop. Several floors above this, J. Jonah Jameson is enjoying time with his resurrected wife. They are happy together, and she has a surprise for him. Jonah's face lights up when they are joined by another person. While Peter freaks out, his friend the Prowler insists things will be okay. When Spider-Man sent him here to investigate, he was killed, but Professor Warren brought him back to life. Prowler insists they are doing great work here. The villains are behaving themselves, after all. The clones need Jackal's medication to survive. He has them firmly under his control. Peter is still furious and understandably refuses to believe this is for some greater good. But Jackal insists this is why he chose to resurrect people in Spider-Man's life, to prove to him the moral conviction of his work. Suddenly, Captain Stacy pulls a gun on his daughter. He calls her an imposter, and you know what? He's right. Spider-Gwen leaps into action, attacking the villains and telling Peter it's time to go. Spider-Man needs no further persuasion and the two escape into the vents. Disappointed, Jackal calls the lizard and asks him to stop the heroes from escaping. Gwen contacts Kaine and says her cover has been blown, and that she wasn't able to get the medication for the clones. Peter says he has some back at Horizon University, so Kaine takes the Gwen clone he and Spider-Gwen captured there to be treated. She is none too pleased and swears the Jackal will make them pay for all of this, and the Horizon faculty are not exactly impressed with having to take a young captured woman out of a stranger's car. But Kaine has no patience for any of this and tells them to treat her immediately. Anna Maria asks what is going on, and Kaine explains that this new you madness is happening in a dozen other worlds. Everything is about to go to hell for the same reason. Miles Warren has a mad idea, and Peter Parker destroys the world. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Clone Conspiracy number 2. Well, here we are again, Clone Conspiracy, and this time, I actually really like this comic. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it overall. Yeah. It's because this issue has a few great things going for it. First of all, Kaine's back, yay! No complaints there, he's always fun and so far has a great role in this story. Second of all, Spider-Gwen. I cannot state how much this could salvage the story. She's got personality, her presence doesn't undermine anything, it all works for me, and I like seeing her and Peter work together, especially on a smaller scale compared to Spider-Verse. It's distinct enough from just bringing Gwen back from the dead that I'm actually okay with whatever they do with it. That was one of my biggest complaints last issue, that they were already ignoring a perfectly good Gwen Stacy they already had. Well, no more than goodness, and yeah, this story is looking far better in my eyes because of it. Honestly, as soon as the Jackal sort of called off Otto, I was pleasantly surprised and happily realized this story had more going for it. Him being like, oh hey, it's Spider-Man, you want a tour? Was an excellent little twist I didn't expect. and now I'm thinking there's more to this story than I first thought. Good, that's the best kind of surprise, and me being wrong on this is totally okay with me. It's also great because I feel like this issue better lived up to the stellar artwork. Some of these panels are just so well done. I have to give props for the comic as a whole for it. My relatively far-fetched theory of this being the Green Goblin is looking less likely, so, add more to the wrong pile, but I won't rule it out just yet. I will say I'm going to quietly walk back some of my more general, dire criticisms and assurances I had from last issue. This story is showing some real sense of originality, and doing things a little different. I like the multiverse angle and the idea of bringing, everyone back from the dead. That being said, this who's who of characters really does show how few major names ever really stay permanently dead. Captain Stacy, Jean DeWolf, and Dr. Kafka are back? Wow! Who cares? Also, zombies? Seriously? That's weird. It's really an odd choice to do that in this day and age. And it doesn't really help with the still ongoing belief I have this isn't exactly the most original story in the world. So that is not a great sign if they're really going in that direction. We'll see. As for the Jackal, he's kind of written a little weird here. One minute he's oddly calm, collected, and friendly to Spider-Man. The next he's a mustache-twirling Spider-Man villain giving an evil laugh and going, "Behold, Spider-Man, my clone army of villains!" And Peter really takes in all this crazy stuff around him like a bit of a dope. He gets his butt kicked and then just acts in that sort of helpless way that only ever shows up in Heroes when it's convenient to the plot. I do like how that led to a great Gwen to the rescue moment, but that seemed to be at the disservice of our webhead's usual level of competence. So I don't know, my opinion has drastically improved from the borderline meltdown I had in response to the first comic. But that doesn't mean it's perfect either. I'm a bit on the fence at this point in the story, so for now I'm not giving it a recommendation, but only because I want at least another issue before I start jumping to conclusions again. See, I can learn stuff too, guys. Maybe there's more on the way, more twists or something more substantial to make this story even better. As of now, I'm interested. I'm no longer reviewing these out of spite. Those are great signs that the first issue was going for a really shocking beginning and was kind of trolling us, but it had something behind it that I didn't believe was there. I'm optimistic, which is a strong improvement from before, but I have a feeling this story might not exactly stick a solid landing. Dan Slott isn't exactly known for that either. But he might pull it off. Let's see what happens. Let me know what you thought of Clone Conspiracy number 2 in the comments section below. And if you like this video, check out our new Patreon page. Donors get exclusive rewards and have a say in the videos we make. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.